Rhoda, Chapter 4 by Timothy Kimmel. Rolling in the Dark. Rhoda woke up late one day that was turning into the night. She stretched and yawned. Her little rhododendron yawn laugh, sounding more like a squeak. She knew that the human Timmy had just prepared one of his favorite meals, mole mole. It's kind of like enchiladas, kind of like taco soup, and kind of like huevos rancheros. But he makes it different every time. Usually with egg, but he always almost has egg in it. And of course, the holy guacamole, seed and all. And often the shell too, because they make great chips. Anyway, it's almost a vegan meal, but sometimes he'll use chicken or beef or both, and even add seafood on top of it for layers. It's a meal of various different textures and really satisfies your taste buds aromatically. Of course, you can't get into details on how to make it, and Rhoda didn't really know. All she knew was that it smelled delicious. She was directly underneath him, and one of her entrance exits to her series of cave systems was right behind his head. He was the warmest person, human heater of sorts in her environment. Because of that, he was awarded some respect, deservedly so. He was like a furnace or a wood stove almost. She wasn't exactly afraid of the dark, but for a rhododendron, she was terrified. Most rhododendrons had absolutely no fear of the dark whatsoever, but because of a freak accident crossing the bridge to Near Island from Kodiak, you see, they usually cross through the tunnel systems, the pipes, deep in the night, and there's nobody around, because they get frightened from noises real easy. But for some reason, a Big Mac truck had woken up early to deliver a load, to get a load of gravel from the Near Island gravel pit and weigh it. Because of that, and her overactive imagination when she was younger, traveling to Near Island to visit her relatives with her parents, she had been afraid of the dark ever since, and going in long tunnels, which, since she lived in a long tunnel outside of her den, because they spent most of their lives in tunnels, only came out at night, usually nocturnally. You could see them in the morning sometimes, but it was more just a late night romp rather than an early morning session. That's why they wake up in the middle of the night, or often earlier, twilight really, just to start their tunnel digging. And because it's warmer in the daytime, they get most of their work done at night when it's colder. That way they won't freeze to death. They live on a hot spot here. It's a spot that's warmer than the rest of the area around it because of tectonic activity, which is what felled this tree a long time ago. They often don't have to worry about trees falling on them, but some people live under trees so they don't fall on them because they've already fallen. They'll fall on the tree instead, they hope. Anyway, she had explored the area of tunnel systems in the rhododendron territory fairly well, and it was a new tunnel system she'd never been to before that brought them out to the pipes which they would use to take across the bridge to go see her parents' parents. which were remarkably still alive because rhododendrons are long-lived creatures. They came from a different place, a different island, really. They'd used the tunnels, I'm sure. That was before she was born. Otherwise, before that, I heard they came here on a ship and really quickly took over as one of the prominent species on the islands. Sort of little gangsters. Really strong hands from digging in the dirt all the time. They were constantly making new tunnels or excavating ones that got filled in when some human or bear unwittingly walked over their little underground trail system, disturbing it and causing it to cave in. Most of the time they didn't have rhododendrons or voles or any of their kin under them because they would quickly disperse when they heard the sound of some lumbering beast like a human being walking along, creating little earthquakes that they could feel under the ground whenever they did. That's why they liked the nighttime too, especially. There was less of this, less lumbering and rumbling and rambling. And yet, when you're young, you have a mighty imagination. So Rhoda could not help herself when she imagined some huge ravenous beast right behind her, just about to get her, just as the Mack truck went rumbling over the intersection onto the near island bridge, going over that speed bump which makes a vehicle go boom boom. And because of this, she gave herself quite a fright. Her dad calmed her down, reassuring her that it was normal and everything was alright. Because of that, she always thought of his voice when she had a panic attack in her tunnel system. She thought of all the tunnel systems in rhododendron territory as hers, as most rhododendrons did. It was natural.